Thank you very much. And for me, again, this is inspirational, this is deep, and this is about indeed having the United States of Africa. Once more, I want to thank you for putting this together. My sister, one of the most dynamic women in the world, and her husband, I'm glad to have met you. Dr. Daniels, you're an amazing Yoruba, so you're my big brother. We're from the same place. You're inspirational. I'm so glad to have met you. So when you see powerful women, you feel humbled. Great to meet you. Mr. Marcus Garvey Jr., again, it's awesome being in your presence. Thank you for that powerful speech. And again, I'm glad you're a Nigerian too. That is your brother, the Honorable Michelle here. Do rank adede to your Nigerian brother from the north. And I thank you all, Senator Sanders, my sister. Thank you very much. And I welcome everybody that came here. The chairperson, House Committee on Diaspora. She's from the Nigerian Congress. And we have two members of Congress here who came a bit later. And then he's representing the governor of Lagos State. That's the richest state in Nigeria. And thank you very much for this. I'll make very short remarks now and go to the premiere of a film called Badagry, The Joy of Return. I think first thing is 400 years of slavery, 100 years of African Renaissance. You know, as long as what we want to achieve is that connection between our brothers and sisters in the diaspora and the African continent. As long as you're a black man and Africa is being looked down upon, you will be looked down upon as a black person. And I think I haven't heard the Honorable Marcus Garvey Jr., I haven't heard all of you here, haven't been together, you know, going to South Africa for the Door of Return. It is important that we have that connection. It is important that we work together. If the Chinese, Indians, Asians are investing in Africa, why aren't we? We have a powerful group in this hall this afternoon. At the end of this session, we need to work together as brothers and sisters. We need to develop the continent. That is your region. That is your home. So here in this hall, I'm going to call on some of the members of the delegation. Dr. Anderson, you share your experience with one or two members of your delegation as you so wish. The chairperson, House Committee on Diaspora, will make some remarks. Our Consul General will make some remarks. And then the representative of the Lagos State Governor will make some remarks because he will be hosting us in October this year. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and we hope to receive you in Lagos, Nigeria, 2020, October. And by the way, Dr. Anderson is Igbo. He's done his DNA. He's also Nigerian. I'm sure if you do yours, I'm sure yours too, you're all Nigerians. And I just made... We're all Africans, exactly. And we need to connect with the motherland.
I don't mind. I'm Igbo.
Oh! Wow. Another round of applause. Not surprising, out of 75% of slaves taken off the continent were from West Africa. Nigeria is the largest in West Africa, so it's not surprising that out of every 4 persons, 1 has to be a Nigerian. So come back home. Let's work together to develop the continent. Let's build the continent of our dreams, and let's develop the world through Africa. Thank you very much, and God bless you. So, Dr. Anderson.
First of all, I want to give an honor to God, who is the creator and the Lord of my life. I give honor to Dr. Ron Daniels, and the ambassador, and of course, Abike. Honorable Abike, and partnering with you has been amazing, and the partnership of bringing people to the continent. As I have traveled many countries in the continent, I've brought many people. It is amazing. I have taken, oh, this is good. I have taken 85 people to Israel, baptized 22 people in the Jordan, including my wife. And the country Israel has an amazing industry when it comes to bringing people back from the diaspora to Israel. Our Muslim brothers and sisters have a wonderful journey back for their Hajj. But black people have a different deal when it comes to Africa. Every single group in America, besides the African American, the black person,
can tie their ethnicity back to a country. So if it's somebody from Italy, if they're Italian American, they can tie it back to a country. Everyone here in America can tie their identity back to a country, with the exception of American black people. So I say, when you say African American, many of them are stuck in the hyphen in the middle between those two names, African and American. They're not sure, am I African? I've never been there. I don't know, it's trees and animals. I'm not sure. Am I American? Well, 3/5 of a human being, or I'm not quite sure if I'm fully home in America. So there's an identity crisis when it comes to black Americans, because when you say black American, any other person can look back and say the country they're from. But let me ask you a question. Where is black? How do I get back to black? I don't know where black is. Is it a place? Is it a country? And so as a result of that, there is an identity crisis. And I feel like God has blessed me and called me to be a bridge builder among many types of people. And so I'm grateful for that. And to have this captured, I have to give a big shout out to Runke Michaela, who was there, and her cinematography and her writing and her voice and the music. Can we give it up for Runke one more time? And then for the Honorable Abike. This started in the Hilton Hotel in Abuja, where someone had told her, I was in the country, she should come visit me, and she did, and I was amazed by her strength, her humility, her honesty, and her friendship. And so when she invited me to come back and bring people, we've done this for a couple of years now, and as a result, there's a whole list of things that are going on. And one of the things, because of the land there, is, once we get all the details of the environmental study and things of that stuff done, we've already got the Hyatt Corporation, the Marriott Corporation, and I'll name, don't need to name others, but they're already in competition of who's going to build this Diaspora Royal Palace Resort Hotel. And my desire and my vision is that one day, nobody will be afraid to go back. They're actually running back, because they're going to go through a door of return and realize that in American history, if you're black, it did not start with slavery. But way before then, you were kings and queens and princes and princesses, and you are royalty. So everybody that comes to that resort, the place that was the door of no return, as they call it, will now be the joy of return, the door of return. The devil is a liar. We are coming back. We can be unified, and I am grateful to be a part of it. Thank you, Abike, Tabiri, Uruwa.
Will ask that you let me leave the protocols and go straight to the point because of the time involved. I will first share my first experience with the issue of slavery. I couldn't have been more than 10 years old, and Roots, the movie, came out. And I would stay up late every night because they only showed it at night, like about midnight. And I would watch all by myself, and I would weep. And then I became an adult, and I took a trip, and I happened to stumble on a new movie that had just come out about the African American who had gotten his freedom, but then was captured and taken back into slavery. And I wept all the way from Nigeria to the UK, because I was on a flight from Nigeria to the UK. I wept all the way. So if I could feel the way I felt when I saw her in tears in Badagry on that movie, I could identify what had happened there that day. I came here with a prepared speech. I will read part of it, but I must mention some things. When Ambassador Rhonda King mentioned the issue of reparation, I was very happy, because Africa really, and African Americans, are due to be compensated. Because the world, as we see it today, was built. Every single European country, every single American state was built by the African. Thank you for that. Also, I thank Dr. Gave for what he had to share with us today. And I'm going to ask a question. Before you know exactly where your African roots belong to, you take a DNA test. How many African-owned, and when I say African, I mean African Caribbean, African American, how many African-owned DNA companies exist? One. We need to ask ourselves very pertinent questions. Because if we are really going to make progress as a people, we need to realize that we need the financial power to do it. And how do we get that financial power? By thinking ahead of situations. A lot of Africans want to know where they come from, and they are going to take that DNA test. So that is one challenge I'm throwing at everybody here in this room today. The Jewish nation is relevant today because they speak with one voice. Regardless of wherever they are in the world, they speak with one voice. Let us, as people of African descent, begin to speak with one voice. I will go to parts of my prepared speech in view of the time, but I must mention some things. First and foremost, I bring with you to this session the good tidings of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, and the members of the 9th Assembly of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Before I go on, kindly permit me to acknowledge my two colleagues who are here with me today. I have Honorable Ephraim and Honorable, could you kindly stand up to me? He's Igbo. He's Igbo. He's your cousin. He's Hausa, which is close to Fulani, because they're from the northern region, so he's your cousin. And I am your cousin because I'm Yoruba. I must commend Ron Daniels, and like I said, Dr. Ron Daniels, because it takes a lot to continue to sell our narrative in the world of today. There are all kinds of barriers that you come across. I went to school in America from the age of 16. I was in America from 16 to the age of 30. So I know. So thank you so much for keeping the story, for keeping the history alive. I am very happy to be here today, and I must use the quote of Malcolm X to deliver my point. But take note that everywhere he used the word black, I will replace with the word African American. And why? Who says this color is black? Why can't this color be yellow? Why can't it be purple? Someone came up with the fact that this color was going to be black, and that color was going to be white. But that color could be yellow, that color could be called green. So let us forget the issue of color, and let us begin to focus on the word Africa. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not black, I'm African, and I'm proud of my heritage. And as we all know, when we talk about diaspora, we're talking about people who have either chosen to move en masse to a different part of the world, or people who were forcefully taken from where they belong. So we all are diasporans from Africa. Again, I will go back to Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. That was his name. He wanted to have his ties. He ties back to the motherland. And he changed his name from a slave name to an African and Islamic name, because that was who he was, an African man. And he felt, why should he have a name that was given to him that doesn't belong to him? Because you see, in Africa, our names mean a lot. You'll notice that the people who came to Badagry were given new names. In Africa, our names are spiritual, they're cultural, and they have a meaning. So it is important that we all reflect on that in whatever you do on this journey back home, the journey back to our roots. I will skip some things and then go back to this. So excuse me if I sound a bit disjointed, it's because of time, but I need to make some points. Malcolm X said the black man in Africa had mastered the arts and sciences. He knew the course of the stars in the universe in the universe before the man in Europe knew that the earth wasn't flat. What does that tell you? Africa is not just a place of mud huts and unintelligent people. Africans are intelligent people. The first eye surgery was done in Africa, in Timbuktu. So many firsts were done in Africa. So it is important that we break that narrative, that negative narrative of who we are. And we go back to the true narratives of our forefathers. And then again, we need to begin to teach our children in diaspora the true meaning of Africa and the true meaning of who we are. If you look in this room, look at the age group. The truth is slowly being lost because the generations that are coming behind do not know the Africa that is the true motherland. All they know is what they see on TV. Tarzan, that's not who we are. So it is important that, please, my sisters and brothers in diaspora, you need to educate the children. You need to tell them about the great Oyo Empire. I am a Yoruba from the great Oyo Empire.